What's going on, everybody? It's Big T with GreenWallSt.com, back with another live trading video, this time on ASTR from, I believe, last Friday. It's a morning trade, so just kind of wanted to walk through the thought process and show you guys some of the trades that we take inside GreenWallSt and some of the trades that I take on a daily basis. You know, I talk a lot about, there's certain trades that come, once a month, once every 3 months. And those are, your really high conviction, highest quality plays that you tend to risk the most on. And then you have those plays that come just every single day in the market. They're kind of like the grind trades, the one that's going to get you through the day. And it's not going to change your life for better if it works or for worse if it doesn't work. It's just a, high conviction, high probability play that happens in the market every day. So ASTR is gapping up, 28%, 30%. Trending down though pre-market. So the plan was very simple. We were building out all these levels pre-market, levels of resistance. So as we the market opens and as we bounce into those levels, I wanted to scale short the stock and bet that it would come back down. So that's essentially just what I did. So we're going to fast forward. It's 9:28, as you can see by the clock over here. And now the market is open. So really critical for me, at least. I don't know about you guys in the morning, but that very first 60 seconds, the first minute candle, I'm hands off. I'm not trying to make decisions based off that candle. I have in the past, and that's typically where a lot of my biggest losses come from, because you think it's some big stuff move, or you think, it's holding support. So you buy and you size in, and then the next candle, it's completely gone. So instead of trying to be the first person in there, placing the first orders of the day, I tend to let it play out for at least a few minutes and let people get trapped, let people take those kind of FOMO entries, and let them give the more patient traders the better entries on the trade. So while it looks like, the stock just pushed and, it's stuffed hard at 1250s, big volume, you may short based on that information. And then a couple minutes later, it's all the way back up and you're trapped. So just a tidbit there. Maybe some people are good at trading the first 60 seconds, but I'm certainly not one of them. And here we go. So the stock is bouncing. Like always, I don't know exactly. If I have an idea a stock is going to roll over and it's going to continue moving down, I never know exactly where. I mean, sometimes I do, but most of the time you don't know exactly where it's going to turn around. It's got to be a given range. So the range for this stock that I wanted to scale in was 13 to 1350. And if it broke 14, I was going to stop out. That was my risk. So you'll see I start in, as we push through view up, as the volume starts to pick up and it makes an attempt to move higher, I start in really small. I start in with 700 shares, and my eventual, full size on this trade was 2,800. So I start in with about a fourth of what I end up with. I'm not trying to, figure it out on that first push. That way, if I'm wrong, on the first one and it continues higher, well, again, I'm trying to build a good average in that 13 to 1350 range. So we start pushing higher. I continue scaling into the trade. Looks like we may start to roll over here, but eventually I believe the stock, so we hold at 13. A lot of people at this point in the trade, if you're trading in the mornings, and especially if you're short bias trader, a lot of people are the most scared at this point right here, because truly the stock could squeeze. That's a real possibility. As a trader, you don't know the outcome. All you can do is focus on the probability and trade the probabilities. That's it. You have to be detached from the outcome. The best way to be detached from the outcome is to size down to the point where you don't care what the outcome is, because you can't control it. You don't control the market. You can only bet based on probabilities. But also, I try not to be full size until I'm ready to be full size. If something's just going straight up, I'm not trying to be, even if I'm short biased on it, I'm not trying to get in there and push all my chips in, right? I want to wait and see the tide start to shift a little bit. So as we push up, again, my final kind of ad spot on this was 1350. So as we kind of push up through that level, I think we push up 1350, 1360. You can see right into this pre-market resistance. So again, this is all according to plan. I add the rest of my position. And, on this first trade, my risk, again, is going to be 14. So if it breaks that, I'll be down $1,000 or whatever, but still a number that I can reattack the stock higher if I'm wrong about this first kind of zone and level. So stock starts to kind of top out, and, I try to be also in the morning. I'm not trying to hold for huge moves. I'm not trying to figure it all out, because a lot of times, like in the first 30 minutes, things are going to be up, they're going to be down, they're going to be, moving all over the place. So I'm much more in like a scalp mentality off the open. And that tends to keep me safe. That tends to, keep my win rate high, even if, I have a stock and I short it up high and it falls, right? If I take those profits into that first flush, then, if the stock's annoying and it comes back on me, I'm not emotionally like distraught that, oh shit, I just had a profit and, it came back on me, because I'm locking in along the way. And again, kind of trading with that more of a scalp mentality. So stock's trying to, push back and make another high. And this is where eventually I believe we start to fail. And into this first fail, like I said, I try to cover some. I'm trying to see where it is exactly. I think we flushed to like 1280, and I actually get a really good fill on this. I think I bottom ticked half of what I had. So again, trying to lock in as the market presents me with money, as the market makes money available to me, I'm taking it. If the stock ever flushes, I never realized how long these trades are until I watch them back, but they happen over the course of, 10, 15, 20 minutes sometimes. Sometimes you get those random trades that are only a minute or two, but other times they take a little bit. So again, letting the stock breathe, not trying to, guess these little micro movements, and keeping the bigger picture idea in mind, 13 to 1350, trying to catch the fade back underneath VWAP. That's the trade. Not trying to figure out like, is it going to base at 1310? And then what if it comes back on me? And, I'm not trading a size where the money doesn't matter to me until the move is made, either against me or not against me. There's always, like, within each trade, there's a bigger picture idea, and then there's all the little choppy movement here. If you take too much size and you're trying to figure out the little choppy movements, you're going to miss the bigger picture idea. That's why I tell people, just use less size and trade the bigger idea instead of going huge and trying to trade this little randomness, figure out if is it 1310 or 1320. Like, just keep the bigger idea in mind. So here we go. Maybe we're about to get this flush move. You can see I'm zooming out to like a 2-minute chart, how I normally do, 2-minute, 5-minute, trying to, again, every day, like I remind myself when I'm in a trade to keep the bigger picture idea in mind. Because you can have an idea like before the market opens, before you're in the trade, but as soon as you got money on the line, oh boy, it's a different ball game. The emotions start flying, and different parts of your brain start activating. Of course, when there's no money on the line, you're only making decisions with your prefrontal cortex. But as soon as the fight or flight response kicks in and there's money on the line and your ego is attached to each trade because you want to be right, that's where the problems arise. So here's finally that first flush. Like I said, I'm locking in profits as I'm proven right on the trade. Some people like to hold for huge moves, but as you'll see, the stock comes all the way back. So I bottom ticked that, right, with half size. And that allows me, I think I covered the rest of it up here as it comes back on me, but then I hop right back in. Honestly, I should not have covered here, but I wanted to make sure we weren't going to squeeze, because if it was going to happen, it was going to happen right there. So I'd rather just take it off really quickly, and if we don't squeeze, I can put it right back on. Which is what I end up doing. So right here, as we bounce back into that resistance, I put on half the position, so 1,400 shares. And then as we bounce a little bit higher, I put the rest of it on. Same risk, because this is all the same trade. It's just, it's being a little choppy along the way. You can see big volume into the sell. So as it pushed into 1350, big volume, rejection, stuff move. So I put the full position back on, but I'm already up 300 bucks on the trade. So I have some cushion now to actually hold for the bigger move. And this, I believe, is when we start to reject and actually catch the real fade. But once again, as we start to fall, I'm taking profits. Trying not to take profits too early, but it's a healthy balance. You never know exactly when to get out of a trade. You just have to kind of play each one by ear. Of course, you can have a plan going into it, but the markets are dynamic, right? Like, things change on the fly. Something can look like a good trade and you can have a profit target, and then something happens in the tape that says you need to get the fuck out. So all of a sudden you just need to get the fuck out. So cover some more there, and then we get the actual bigger flush down to, I think, 1260s, 1270s. So I've covered half again because I'm conservative. I like to take profits when they are made available. And then there's the rest of it. So cover a little bit more. I'm still holding 1,000 shares. And then as we fall into the 1260s, I believe I covered the rest. And that was it. That was a $1,700 trade on ASTR. One of those just daily grind type trades that happen nearly every day in the market. And $1,700 is not going to change your life. It's not going to hurt you if you lose. Well, maybe. It never feels good losing money. But the point is, regardless of what size you trade, there are these types of opportunities that happen nearly every day, and this is just a good example of that. So ASTR, hopefully the trade idea made sense. Hopefully you guys found some value in that, and yeah, hopefully everybody's had a good trading week. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. GreenWallSt.com. We will have a link in the description below. We're running a 5-day free trial. If you want to come spend a week inside of the Discord and watch some of the educational material and trade live alongside with us, feel free to do that. If you don't, you just want to watch the videos instead, that's fine too. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I will catch you guys right back here next time. Peace out, everybody.